And welcome to Sinus J Insulator channel. I'm Josh. I'm your local attic insulator, and in this channel you are entering the one-stop shop for all things attic insulation. If there's a video that you haven't seen on my channel, throw a comment down below and I'll be sure to create that video in the near future. In the previous video I had mentioned a couple of framing tips to protect your attic from wind damage. Now, as you can see in the border here, we've got some good wind stoppers and some sheets that are stuffed in so that the wind can't disturb the blown insulation once installed. Now, my question is, this week, what if a tornado hit, and what sort of damage would that cause at 200 km/h winds? Well, we'll find out in this video. This is one of the homes that got hit with a tornado. You see there's lots of wind damage all over the place. It blew out all the fiberglass. This is fiberglass really easily. I mean, we're talking 200 km/h winds in this area, so it's definitely needs to be re-insulated. But lucky enough, the homeowners didn't need to redo their roof fully, because you can see that it's still there. They put temporary strapping here so that the roof does hold, because it could have had some damage and they don't want any repetition of high winds to happen. So that's why they put these pieces of wood here. My job is to remove all of the insulation. Obviously the insulation is probably pretty wet. When it's wet, there's definitely a lot of clogs that can happen. So there's one thing I do want to point out. Even at 200 km/h, some of the styrofoam vents that you see here are still in place, as well as the butts or the baffles that are stuck in. Obviously I removed these cavities here. You want to have those plywood walls so that you do protect the attic from wind damage when you're doing construction. So this just goes to show, right, you got small little pieces like that for those wind baffles if you're going to use insulation, because any bigger than that, that means that you've got a big space that's you know, between 1.5 feet and 2 feet in height, and that allows for a lot of wind to get in, versus this here, which is probably 4 inches. So it didn't really allow as much wind to get in, and so some of the vents are still intact. That's my theory behind that. Again, this is just based on my experience. When you're uncovering or removing the insulation as you go, this right here is a top plate of a wall, so then I can safely stand on that. I already know that because of how many attics I've done. And when you remove insulation, the benefits are you can check on all your plumbing fixtures to make sure that they're all connected, that your plumbing vent is properly connected here, your bathroom fan's connected properly. They did a good job with the tape there. So there's some soffit here, even the metal soffit, that was damaged, so they're gonna call somebody to repair that as well. So there's quite a bit of repair to do here, because there's also water leaks since some of the shingles in this house blew away. So they're gonna have to do that before we come back and insulate. You definitely don't want to have a damaged roof. We've got holes here, so you definitely don't want that. You want to have a nice watertight roof deck before insulating or doing any extra work inside of the attic. What does a water damage for fiberglass look like? This right here is what water damage looks like if you are to have even a minor leak and you want to inspect to see if you have water damage. If you have a roof leak, this is what it's going to look like. There you go, some water right there. That's what it looks like. So the one benefit, if you have a properly air sealed attic, the water is going to actually more than likely stay in the attic space and also not create damage on your electrical fixtures. If you've got an air sealed, like you'll have these all nice and airtight, it's going to be definitely water resistant. But if it's not, then water can get through here and damage your outlets and junction boxes. So that's one benefit of having an air sealed attic. When you are looking at your walls, the interior wall, or even this hole here, this is supposed to be airtight as well. And so if it was and there's foam, then it's going to resist the water coming into your interior wall and damaging the interior wall in your house. Alright, I'm going to this tiny little section here of the house. This is probably your, it looks like a tower on the outside of the house, just because it's sort of rounded in there. And after that I have the rest of this to do. And that's it. Alright, I'm always following the these cavities, the ceiling roof cavities. So it's just so much easier to get rid of all the insulation. Just like that. Finished off the end as well. Right in here. Alright, she's all done. Unfortunately, so this is the damaged soffits there, and I couldn't get at some of these baffles or these sheets because of the roof nails. So we're gonna finish this off. I'm gonna tell my partner to come up and help me with some garbage bags. So this is some of the wet spots over here. See that? All the markings. So that was this is where the main wind came from, it seems, because all of this was blown out as well as that side.